Hey, you there. Thank you for watching and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a very special cast for all of you. It is a 3v3 ladder on the Necroxus map generator, and why it is so special is because it was submitted by a viewer, submitted by Zima2352. So thank you. Shout out to Zima for the replay. And again, if you want to submit a replay to me for me to look at and see if it is good enough to be on the channel, there's a link in the description with the email. It is strategiclaunchreplays@gmail.com. So let's go ahead and introduce blue team or team 1 up here to the north and ending with team 2 or red team down here in the south. Let's go start with the first player here on team 1. It is Agony. He's going first land as an Aeon in Amethyst Purple. He's going second air as well. To his east in Royal Blue, we have a Jumbo Sack 4 going first land as an Aeon. And last but not least here for team 1, we have Dimon Danon. I can call him Dimon for short. Going first land in Stitch Blue. So on team 1 side, I think we have 2 UEF and an Aeon. No Seraphim and no Cybertech for the blue team. Let's go ahead down in the south. Already on the move, we have Morrow. He is a Seraphim going ruby red. Was going first land. To the east, we have Aldarian. That's how I say that. Going first land, second and third air. Probably going to be the rear guard air slot here for team 2 or red team, and he's in Chevy Crimson as a UEF. And last but not least, already on the move as well, we have Son of Ibis going first land, probably second and third air by the looks of the configuration. That is just me guessing, and he is in orange, the color orange, as a Seraphim. Let's take a look here at the reclaim. Currently on the map, we have 27,000 reclaim for 6 players. That is a lot of reclaim for everyone to scoop up. It's going to take a lot of time, considering there's only 6 players. Usually you see that amount of mass at like 10 players, 12 players, that kind of number. But that's going to be a lot of mass for everybody to scoop up. First upgrade already on the way here for all Darian. He's going for the left drone. Probably will build the right one here right afterwards. Gets the little backpack. You can see a little backpack on his back with the little drone on his little shoulder. Oh, that's so cute. And it kind of sits in that little notch there on his shoulder. I kind of like the aesthetic of that little notch. Oh, and it's already been given its order to go probably reclaim or build a mass extractor or something. But on the move here, 2 of the players here for team 1 or for blue team, they're going for this middle slot here with 4 mexes. In terms of mass points on the map, there's 2 sets of 3 and 2 sets of 4 here down this kind of diagonal angle, and then there's another 3 mexes here, 3 mexes here, but not a whole lot of mexes to fight over. A lot of these will probably stay in the hands of their respective teams, but it does look like red team is going to focus on the western side and the blue team is going to focus on the eastern side. So there's not really 3 lanes. There's really only 2, the west and the east. I mean, if you count the center air lane, we can call it that, but not really that. Already going on an attack order here with a couple of these mech marines, and Aurora fighting off little tiny dudes trying to chase after, and it will die. The first casualties of war this game. We have Jumbo on the move here, going to claim a couple of mexes and build some land factories to reinforce that position. Very standard here. To the west, however, we have Morrow. I want to say Mario. This is very similar, but Morrow built a T1 PD to ensure he has defenses already in place, and then probably will go after the land facilities next. So a difference in terms of wants to get more reinforcements or wants to defend the position first, but then he'll build the land factory to reinforce it as well. A lot of players will do the land factories or the mexes first and then do the PD, but it does look like Morrow's going for more choice of who wants to secure the slot, make sure no one gets it, and then build the factories, which both could be argued that if you build the land factories and then you build the units, it does that anyway. But just some added protection here for his comp. And he goes T2 almost immediately after completing that first factory. So Utashalas probably will be on his mind, as well as some tactical missile launchers, of course. A couple of mech marines and a snoop, actually 2 snoops. going after these mexes. They'll die before they get any of them destroyed, but does slow down Jumbo for a little bit. We'll have to redo his build order here. They are trying to scoop by this striker here. They do not make it in time, and the striker gets a couple of kills for their failures. Still only the one drone here for Aldari, and I'm kind of surprised he hasn't gone for. Usually, if you get one drone, you get the other drone, but he's not going for that right now. In terms of player rankings here, it is a 98%, fairly close. Of course, this is a ladder match, so to be expected. And in terms of ladder differential, we have 1098 average for Team 2 and 1115 for Team 1 or blue team. So not a huge discrepancy, but the highest rated player is on Team 2 side of things, red team of Son of Ibis, and the lowest ranked player on Team 2 is also Aldarian. But we are having some movement here to the west here. Team 1 has noticed that Team 2 has grabbed this section of the map, so they want to avoid it as much as possible by going around. And you can go around from these little avenues right here. So even though this position will secure most of the lane, it will not hold all of it. You're going to have something here. And you can see, due to the fact that red team is not securing the entire, center line, we're having some bleeding over here to the west. They're going after a couple of engineers and mechs down here in the south. So Team 2 needs a response for this. A couple of gunships could deal with that. Team 1 bombers could deal with that. Just a couple of tanks could go deal with that. But I feel like Team 1 bombers would be the most effective use. They're faster, and obviously just due to the fact that they're faster means that you get those mechs protected even quicker. But T2 radar already built here for Son of Ibis wants to make sure he gets a nice little view of the map. You can see a good section of it on the eastern side. Pretty much that entire southeastern quadrant is at least somewhat noticeable to him. Unless somebody's using stealth, can't be blocked. But we have a transport here from the comm of Jumbo, and the comm of Son of Ibis has sent a transport. It's not a ghetto one with the little hunters or whatever. I guess Selens would be the ghetto gunship for the that one. But there is an AA here. Will not kill off the transport. The interceptors will. But these couple of engineers are going to face off against the PD. If they charge in, they are not going to get anywhere. The Stams are dropped off once again. They'll deal with those engineers. They will not build that PD, unfortunately, for them. Another forward radar installation to help secure the eastern side. Love that play here. Has one of each PD and a radar, just so that he can watch the eastern side a lot closer. Love that move here out from Son of Ibis. Radar is very important. It's that one. I mean, it's not the most important thing, but it is one of the most important things. To the northeast, we have a run, or was it a drop? Could have been a drop, but probably a run by here. A couple of Thams being chased down by a few strikers. They will not get this T2 mechs. There's not a lot of firepower here. Had they had some Zooies, it would have been a different story. Reclaim order by the engineer. Who says engineers cannot be aggressive? Well, they can't actually do damage except for the Sparkies, but they will deal with this Tham incursion. To the southwest, like I mentioned earlier, more units are coming in from this western side. Team 2 needs a way to block that off. And you can just see there's a sizable defensive position here for play of Mara, but these units are just going to go, no, it's going to go over this way. And now the comm has to now move into position, come out of protection, and be able to take them out. I did get a T2 radar installation as well to help assist with knowledge gathering or intel gathering here on that western side. The comm of Aldarian with his little, engineer buddy on his shoulder, little drone, will start pushing forward. He has the gun upgrade, so he'll be able to deal with a lot of this. Jumbo is retreating. Isn't going to hold this, surprisingly. He had plenty of time to build up PD and units, but didn't decide to do so soon enough, apparently. Definitely missed opportunity here, and is going to stop producing units just to not waste that mass. Good on him. But that position will fall. Just a bomber overhead, just to add insult to injury. Gun speed going down here for Jumbo Sack. He'll probably go for the Aeon Sniper Comm. Units will come in to assist in the defense of that comm. It's going up fairly quickly, though. It's not going to be a huge concern. T2 on the western side here for Agony. He'll probably build triads along probably about this line, or maybe even this line. Something here just to build a defensible position. Kind of similar to here on the east, except there's actually mexes to protect versus over here, which there's nothing. So makes it less worth it to invest. That's the hard part in FAF, is that there's this is a nice choke point right here, but there's no mexes on either side of it. I guess right here, but you want to build infrastructure, but you can't get the adjacency bonuses because there's none to get, and so it makes it harder to invest versus this position where like all this mexes, I can have one of them, reduce the cost of building units, even upgrade the T2 and all of that, and so it makes it more worth it to invest here versus invest in somewhere where there's nothing. But a large group of units to the east, they are Thams, and if there's not Zooey in there, I am definitely disappointed. I am disappointed. There should be some Zooey in here. But all of these Thams to the east, they will be found out by this radar installation here from Demon. They will see it quite, and the Air Scout over top. So there are units to counter this. There are some Zooey in there, actually some Lobo. They're not Seraphim. Oh, and on Team 2 side of things, if I hadn't pointed out, there are 2 Seraphim and 1 Aeon. No Seraphim in this game for those of you who likes the what is Kyle called? The spiky space socialist, not socialist, communist. I forget the phrase. But gun speed and range going down here for Jumbo. At least the initial range was built versus the Zepham for the UEF commander. Jumbo will have to retreat. Reinforcing forces here from Crimson Red player of Aldarian will push forward and then fall back quite heavily. I mean, he does have Aurora, so they have the range advantage, but the strikers have the hit point advantage and the damage advantage. So it does look like Aldarian will just sit here. His little buddy is destroyed, unfortunately, for him. Oh, little engineering buddy. But he does have a rank of veterancy. We'll get probably a second one here with this exchange. Interceptors cruise over the top to kind of give some air support for both players here. Jumbo looking in a bad way, though. Sub 2,500 hit points. There is a couple of Lobos mixed in there as well. Aldarian could have been pushing sub 2,000 hit points. Gets a overcharge in there. Sub 1,500 hit points. Sub 1,000. Sub 300. Couple more shots. Sub 200. Oh, that shot misses. Kaboom! That is the first kill of the game. Sub 20 minutes, and Aldarian gets the claim for that kill. So this will create a power vacuum here in the east, and hopefully Aldarian will be able to hold this position and secure it for his team. That'd be a decent amount of mass to deny for his opponent. And unfortunately, even though they have map control, Team 1 is winning the mass generation game by a decent margin at 13 minutes. Considering there's only 3 people on each team. Well, I guess 2 now. But for Team 1. But 240 to 200, that's a decent chunk. And in terms of total mass accrued, Team 1 is winning by about 9,000 mass. So if that continues, it's not going to go well here for Team 2 later on. Mass, of course, isn't the only thing, but it does have a nice indicator of who is, most likely to win. Not necessarily the guaranteed winner. I would like to see... Yep, okay. We have Mario. See, I did it again. Maro building some Utashalas and some artillery installations to secure this western side. Would probably like to see it a little bit farther forward, but he is securing it nonetheless, so good on him. He has that intel installation here to help assist in, of course, intel gathering. T2 also has been built here for Agony. So we have 1 T2 and 1 T1. We have 2 T2s. You don't necessarily need 2 T2s this far forward. The backup is good, though, just to have just in case. I mean, this one right here, you probably only really needed 1. But having the extra range does help, though. It's just not really worth it. Especially, that far forward. But in the case of where Maro only has 1, it is not really great. Especially there's only 1 Utashala. And there are some tanks being built up here. And they're going to push forward. There's also a shield in here. And a couple of missiles, these flapjacks. I love the variety of units. Would have liked to see some flak mixed in. But besides that good mix of units, you need that flak to stave off any T1 bombers or gunships that might appear. But a lot of T1 and a couple of T2 units are on the approach here. They notice that there is a buildup of units here. A couple of missiles start launching. They're going to go after the radar. There isn't TMD. Actually, there is, but it's too far back. It is, going to cover it, but should have been a little bit farther forward, though, just to help ensure that no missiles get in. Like that one got in. You only will be able to hit one, and then that radar goes down. So that radar, Team 2 is blind on the western side for now. There is an Uttashala here as well. It is in range of these strikers. The Zui are just acting as cannon fodder while the Uttashalas do most of the damage. This push does not work, unfortunately, here for Agony, and will have to fall back with what he has left. Counter push here to the east, trying to get some revenge here for his teammate. Dimon is trying to push forward. He has some shields, has a lot of pillars here. The shields start to fall, and some missiles. And is there flak in that? There's a couple of AA units in there. Okay, that's something. Drone gets taken out. It's disappointing. With Triads now being built here for Aldarian. Trying to secure this position as best he can. He needs a shield is really what he needs. And trying to build more and more. Build some buzz kills to stave off the missile threat. And the units here for Dimian are just kind of running back and forth, not allowing any units like the Lobos to get a nice tracking on the pillars. A couple of units here to the east from Son of Ibis. Won't do a whole lot. And now there's going to be a pincering maneuver here to the east. Again, the missiles are constantly being launched from the western side against this position. Needs probably 2 more TMD just to help secure it a lot better. But to the east, units still kind of zigzagging back and forth. Interceptors fly over the top for Team 2. Don't really do a whole lot, unfortunately. Now they're targeting the Triads. The Triads are the main source of damage here for Aldarian up here in the front. 1 TMD, of course, is not enough. Needs, like, again, 3 or 4 more. He's going to build a couple more. Couple of Fervors and Aurora on approach. Aurora should be used at range. They're very squishy. One shot from a Triad and they're gone. And that push won't amount to a whole lot, unfortunately. This is the main concern here for Aldarian. He has to be thinking about retreating at some point. This force is just enough to probably kill him. He is 2 ranks of infantry, does have the gun, and does have T2. So he's going to start falling back. Takes out 2 pillars with that overcharge. And yeah, he notices he probably should be retreating, and does so. Grabs some mass or something. But another overcharge kills another set of pillars, and now he's targeting the T1 units. Another overcharge. Man, he's getting overcharges fairly quickly. And he's targeting the AA. Interesting move here. Wants this to ensure, that's actually T2, wants to ensure that possible help from his teammates will come in without any issues. But this push that looked very well here from Dimon will actually just peter out fairly quickly due to the comp. And Jane is flying over the top, sends the backside of Aldarian. More forces here from Agony, pushing forward way too far, and that will result in their deaths once again. More Janus flying over the top. I saw an ASF or 2 covering those Janus. They're going after the comm. Aldarian is trying to dodge as best he can. Interceptors called in. They take out 2 of those Janus. 1 more. There is an T1 AA emplacement. Going to take a minute to chew through those hit points on the Janus, but again, more fire. Ooh, walks into that fire. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Ooh, it's singeing your feetsies there, singeing your toes. Doesn't have T2 intel. Probably needs it because this is the range that he can see. He can see a little bit, but needs to see a little bit farther forward, unfortunately. The Seraphim have the ability that when their air scouts die, they drop a little, not a circle, but they drop a little kind of a lingering effect to get a nice little view of what's there for a little bit. Transport being chased down by a couple of NTs, actually a decent amount of NTs. Flak on, going to deal with a lot of those. They'll just run into that flak. That's got to hurt. But the transport will stay alive at 25 hit points. Wow, that was very close to death. Of course, T3 air has been achieved here for Team 2 as well. It does look like some Volthers are going to be built up. Maybe a gunship snipe might be on the cards. The Calm of Agony has fall back. He has no protection. nothing. And I hear Titans. I hear their guns firing off. There they are in the middle. So Agony has T3 land. They are rapid firing. Of course, that's just what Titans are known for. A lot of, I can't pronounce that, but the flapjack equivalent here for the Seraphim or Morrow. Trying to target the moving pillars and Titans, but just can't get a nice lock on. Oh, there's going to be combat drops here. More Titans on the front line. 3 more. That's a decent amount. 2 more going to appear as well. Now we have a decent group of 9. Looks like one of them might have died. That does look like a Titan wreck, but more PD, says Son of Ibis. Yeah, he needs more PD, but it is a little too late. There is even some Ravagers. No, actually, those are Uthashalas. They kind of look like Ravagers a little bit from a distance. But these Titans will just mow down this position. Bunch of missiles will collide with the shields, and that's going to be good to take out the shield generators. But and that looks like that is the target of the Uthashalas. Now the gunships come in. There's a lot of flak here. Does look like Agony heard me and built some flak, but those gunships will die off fairly quickly. They are, I think they're the weakest T2 gunship in the game, I think. Don't quote me on that. But now these Titans are just going to punch through. More are on approach. We have a strat bomber here, a shocker here from Agony as well. Morrow, you need some defenses online, man. You can't just live by just your comm alone. ASF fight over the middle will go Team 2's way. I don't know where all the ASF here for Team 1 is. Actually, that is all the ASF here for Agony. That is not great. Another bombing run inbound. Again, the Seraphim shields are hard to take out. Only 3,000 temporary hit points are gone. But these Titans are going full send, going into the main base here for Team 2. They're actually going to get a lot of work done. A lot of the mexes are unprotected. There's another flapjack going to the front lines. Pings go down. They're building some T1 PD as we speak. But, man, this is going to hurt Team 2. And Team 1 needed the win. I heard an explosion. What was it? Okay, it wasn't a comm. Okay, good. I was like, was it a comm kill? But Titans are going to go in the power, engineers, and the shield generators. Yeah, I was going to say, those would be the 3 things I would go for. They're going to target the T3 mass extractors. I mean, yeah, it's not a bad idea. It's going down fairly quickly, though. And there'll be 1 T3 mass extractor they'll get. And then they'll target... well, the air facility isn't really worth it. These tanks are going to run headlong into PD. That's not a good idea. Need to keep going eastward. Fortunately, you just given time for Son of Ibis to catch up. A lot of units have been pulled back from the front line, and even more Titans are coming in to chase them. The Strat Bomber still targeting that base, and now the comm has actually walked out of coverage. There's even some Percivals incoming, and more Titans and more Percivals probably are on approach. They've taken out that P-Gen. They've taken out 2 mass extractors. They're going after the T1 P-Gens. Not really worth it at this stage. We're at 23 minutes. They're not really worth it. Now they're just sitting and going to be surrounded. We even have a sniper bot here trying to take out the Titans. Titans have stopped moving. That's not what you want to do with Titans. You want to keep them moving. Because, not that they're super weak or anything, but they need to be moving. They just need to be moving. You don't want to give your enemy free damage. Essentially what you're doing is giving them free damage by allowing the missiles and the Zooey shots to hit. Bothu gunship called forth. Go after these Percies and Titans. I mean, they could go after the comm, but I think the comm has enough hit points and overcharged. But you have not left Nisa Mexes and did not hold your opponent. Sorry, says Aldarian. Don't know what that means. But those Titans will be dealt with. They did get a couple of mexes and a P-Gen, but a couple more mexes. But honestly, they didn't get a whole lot of work done considering. And now these are going to charge forward. You might as well just retreat them because charging them forward is just going to mass dump them closer. But the comm of Aldarian goes down. Looks like he control K'd. You have not left me some mexes and did not hold opponents. Sorry. Who decides to control K. Don't know what that was really about. He was holding pretty well here on this northeastern side, but maybe he was annoyed about the Ravager that was built. I don't really know. His team was winning for the most part. Not the mass game, but everything else they were doing pretty well on. But now, with the departure of the lowest ranked player in the game, it is now a 2v2. It is even once again. Forces will retreat this position. This will embolden Team 1 and allow them to retake this position that they lost a while ago. T3 Omni installation has been built here for Son of Ibis, so a lot of intel gathering here on this eastern side. Almost can see the entire map. Probably if he put it maybe here, he would be seeing the entire map, but eastern side's a fairly secure place. Out of the way. Probably should build a shield just to protect it from a strat snipe. That's an easy target. But we have, again, we noticed very briefly, Team 1 still winning the generated mass game. It does look like Son of Ibis is trying to recover that by trying to just use what he gained from Aldarian to supercharge his eco-generating setup. He is starting to build out his air facility. It does look like Maro is still trying to pump out some units. Hasn't gone T3 yet. It's just going to sit here and just produce gunships. Not a bad idea. But wall off now, says Son of Ibis. Well, I guess there was a wall right here. A wall off. No, not turn the wall off. Wall it off now. Yeah. Just to secure it and not allow units to kind of come in from behind. These Titans are still... Actually, Titans. These Perseus are still sitting there. Don't know really what they're going to be used for, though. These gunships could easily take them out. Are there any flak in here that the... Bolters are going to be able to just attack en masse? It does look like they will be able to. Oh, no, never mind. I missed the Cougar back here. There's actually a few of them back here. I do like the, again, the variety of units. There is some Krugers, there's some Perseus, there's some shields. I mean, you could go for Titans, but Perseus are obviously do more damage. They walk a little bit slower, but, you know, if you want all that high alpha strike damage, you're going to have to take a loss somewhere. But it does look like Son of Ibis is going to hold this eastern position just right here. And Maro is on this a little bit farther forward, but trying to cut off any sort of flanking maneuvers. Multiple sections of walls to secure it. Good on him. These units here from Dimon are not going to push forward. And Dimon has built the first experimental of the game. He is a UEF. So did he build a Fat Boy? Yes, I see the shield. It is the Fat Boy, the mobile factory. Very, very useful at sieging bases. I mean, in large numbers, they can take out, you know, Crabs and Colossus, of course. But one-on-one, not a good idea. But lots of build up here. The Titans are pushing forward, and now they're just going to give the retreat order. Maybe they're trying to draw in the sniper bots, but this western position, not very secure. Well, okay, maybe all the Utashalas over here, maybe. But just right here, not really the best part, and that's why there are Utashalas being built in the front line. I mean, I don't know what that was about by Aldarian, but, you know, Control King. Maybe he was upset with what happened over here. I don't really know. But just because a setback occurred in your game does not mean that you just leave. Kind of disappointing when that happens. There's some legitimate things like you have no mass left, you have no structures left. It's like, you know, 50, 60 minutes in the game. Like, you know, that's kind of reasonable. But, you know, you're 20-something minutes in. Not really the best situation to be in. You're losing APM for your teamers pretty much. But the Titans will try to push forward. They'll take out a lot of the Team 1 units, but be forced back by the banks of Utashalas. And more and more being built all the time. We're bringing in his T2 Mechs as well. Approaching the 30-minute mark, Team 2 has an SMD. Noticed that earlier. Are they working on some sort of missile? Like a nuke, perhaps? No. No one's going nuke rush. There's a secondary air grid. Again, I love it. I love it when air players do that, just to ensure that if one air grid falls, they don't lose all of their air. I love that. The decentralization of infrastructure and forces, I love it. Unfortunately here for Team 1, there's a huge... Both air grids are right next to each other. And couple artillery shells, and both of those are gone. So not the best placement there. But we do have a secondary T2 facility to the west, so not entirely... I was going to say out of the way, but not entirely gone if this position falls. Looks like they're building some sort of maybe mass facility here, mass fat farm. Kind of pause though. We have Titans dropped in from some transports. Those look like most of them did make it, but these Titans, again, are being very useful here for Agony, trying to just reduce the opponent's ability to produce mass. Again, I love the lasers from these Voltus. They're very, very pretty, very satisfying to watch. But unfortunately, no AA in the mix, and these are just going to die off fairly quickly. They'll get that last mix, and that'll pretty much be it. And you're losing all, like, a lot of your APM is being soaked up into doing this. I understand you want to take out the mass, which is a good idea, to be fair. Like, it's not a bad idea to do. But you're just dropping, like, 300 mass per kill, or per Titan, essentially. And each T2 max is worth 638. So, essentially, if you can get a 2-for-1 scenario, you'll come out ahead. But the margins are very low, though. You're taking out a lot of T1 units, though. T1 units are not charging forward. That last Titan will get a couple more kills, but that will be it. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of effort here from Team 1 to really push when that is happening. I mean, they're allowing Team 2 to just build up here on this western side. Morrow is holding position here. This is the weaker side of the two now. I'd say build an experimental, maybe a chicken, and push that western side, or even just push the eastern side or something, just straight down the middle or something. You're building a lot of units over here, Dimon. You could be using these a lot more. Let's see, they have any plans to end the, we're at 30 minutes. Got to be thinking about ending the game at some point. Son of Ibis has built. Push says Agony. The order has been given. Thought I saw an experimental finish. It is the chicken, so unfortunately the push will not make a whole lot of effort. You should have done it sooner. Probably would have been able to at least halt or delay the chicken at least. But now that the chicken has finished, this eastern side is not looking good. There's even, Utashal, there's a couple backups, AA emplacements, a couple shields, TMD, no artillery, but besides that, I mean, this base is pretty well defended. And then they're going to stop moving. They should be using the advantage when they have it. Team 2 has the air. There are a couple of restorers here to the northwest here for Agony. They're going to take out these engineers. And Agony just pumping out more and more Titans and Perseus. But I don't see any effort to pump out much of anything else. I mean, yeah, you could build, 1,000 of anything will kill anything. But you need to use that 1,000 of anything effectively. And now what I do like about this is the Fat Boy is in range. If they can take out the Omni, that'd be a great grab here. You just need to push it a little bit farther. You can take out that Omni installation and set back Team 2's intel gathering operations. That'd be an awesome grab here, because they have a T2 here, but it'll take a little bit of time to upgrade to T3, and they will get it. And that will blind Team 2 on that eastern side. They still know those units are there, of course, because this radar is in range, but they won't get the Omni presence that they want. But now there's a push to the western sides here from Agony, so while this push is occurring, the chicken is all alone. The chicken probably should fall back a little bit, just at least under shield coverage. But these Perseus and a couple of Team 1 units are going to push against these these pillars and other units here from Son of Ibis. Now there's even Titans appearing with a squad of parashields. All those parashields instantly lose their shields. And the Perseus will run out, unfortunately. Both these are called in to assist. Aerofight. Actually, the T1 bombers are on approach. 144 of them. They're going after the Fat Boy. There is some AA here, but it isn't enough. The shield is gone, and the Fat Boy is gone. And that, of course, is the power of T1 bombers. The first experimental of the game was killed off without doing a whole lot. Took out the radar, but that's really about it. Chicken versus some Perseus. Do kill off the chicken, though, so a trade does occur. And that transport dies with a couple of Titans on board. Ow, that's gotta hurt. It does look like some AA creep here from Agony, trying to diminish Team 2's air. I love the idea, love the push. And there's even these Perseus are still making their way into, vital facilities. Target the mast. That would be the best thing to take out. You don't have a lot of time. Don't take out the defenses. It's not really worth it. Those can be easily built. The loss in mass is definitely the stinger here, but there's huge facility here to the west. decent sized facility here to the east. Team 1 needs to build maybe Arty, build a nuke, build some sort of long range tech so they don't have to come and just bash their heads on Team 2's front door. And they don't have a lot of shields. One shield protecting the P-Gens and the T3 Air headquarters. That's really it. I mean, this facility here as well. The shields aren't really being used. And people don't really build shields around their air facilities until after the Arty is built. Mass FAF farm was finished. More air facilities being built. They're trying to I said try there like 2 or 3 times there. They're going to attempt to reclaim air from their opponent, but I don't think it's going to go their way, at least right now. They're trying to just, slowly creep in. Team 2 doesn't have a lot on the ground in terms of units. They have a lot of defenses. And there's another chicken, though, so this... let's see. I don't think it'll be close. It'll definitely be close. If the Titans can keep dodging and allow the Perseus enough time to fire, and the Perseus get close enough, it might be enough time to take out that chicken. Let's see. Sub 60,000. Perseus are in retreat. Chicken has the range. There are engineers on approach to reclaim that chicken. I love that. There are now some broadswords appearing. Team 2's air going to come in and just annihilate those. But that will reduce some of those hit points. We have ASF now fighting over. I love the distraction by Team 1 using the gunships as bait. They will kill off the chicken with the assistance of those broadswords. And it looks like the air here for Team 2 has slowly diminished with the assistance of the SAM sites nearby. So air control will be in Team 1's hands. They needed that. They definitely needed that that advantage here. Now they can start using a lot more gunships, a lot more strat bombers. T3 going on the way for Agony. We're 36 minutes in. Players have to be thinking about end of the game. That's 30 minutes is roughly the time that you should be like, okay, what's the plan? Do we have an SMD? Are we going for nuke rush? Are we going for, Arty rush, game ender rush? What's the main goal? And then we can figure out steps to get there. You don't have to plan out every single step. You're like, okay, we need to hit X. How do we get to X? Okay, we need this. Before that, we need this. Before that, we need this. So we need to work on this thing first and then move forward. It's kind of like how I like to plan things is it's like kind of a backwards way of instead of step A, B, C, D, I go with what step Z to finish and then try to go backwards from there. And we know like, okay, in order to hit this stage, we need this. Hit this stage, you need this. So, but these lowly engineers are going to be annihilated by some plasma. But now it does look like Team 2 is going to have to put a lot more effort into this eastern side. Yeah, this is a nice base. There's even a T3 land facility to help produce units even quicker. But Son of Ibis needs Othams. Just straight up. You need Othams. I know you're building chickens. Chickens are good. But you need the firepower of those Othams. You have a lot of Titans, which is good. You need Othams. You just need the tankiness of those Othams. And there's even another run by here. Oh, maybe it's another drop here from Agony. But again, more and more Titans hot dropping constantly. ASF's called in to deal with the Volthu gunships now that they have air control. Most of them were taken out. ASFs are called in all the time to deal with the enemy ASFs. And now all of those forces here from the western side from Morrow are retreating to deal with this push. And it's not really looking good. That wall section didn't finish. Easily could go around the edge there. But it does look like hot dropping is the way to do it here for Agony, at least in this game. Counter pushing going on here. The eastern side Perseus are outnumbered pretty much 2-1. And as much as Perseus can be used, ACU says... Oh, Agony's pointing out the comp. But the Titans, with the assistance of the ASF, they're very well protected. They'll take out the flak emplacements and then get a lot of mass extractors killed off. This is all T1, so very weak to Titans. And now we have a satellite. See, there's some standoff tactics. Went after the mass fabs. Going to take out that mass extractor. Good there. Take out some P-Gens. Take out maybe the SMD if that'd be a good target. That's tele-defense. You don't need that much tele-defense. There's no Cyberns, so you don't need to worry about that. Maybe target the Novax that's being built here. That'd be a good grab too. You got to look out for those vulnerable targets. Yeah, you want to go after the SMD first. Maybe you want to go after the comm first. I get it. But you want to take out the vulnerable targets that will take them a while to get to. in terms of shields, and then go after everything else. Because by the time you get after most of those things, if you're going for Novaks, just push, then you're probably going to have a second one finished by then, and then you can start willowing down the shields. Because one Novaks kind of is enough to deal with it. But, okay, don't use your Novaks to kill T1 and T3 engineers. That is not worth your time. You built an experimental unit just to go after NGs. Not really worth it. And you're killing... I mean, that's kind of funny. But, Novaks going after ASF. That's funny. But you see, now there's shields being built here for Morrow. You need to seize the advantage when you have it. Morrow in the back with some teledefense, building a bunch of shields and a nuke. So that is his goal to end the game, is a nuke launcher. Team 1 does have an SMD, and the advantage of having everything grouped up in one is one SMD can cover a lot more. And that is, again, that's the cost, that's the benefit, that's the disadvantage, whatever the case may be. This chicken is charging forward, going to take out some mexes. The restorers will deal with a lot of those hit points. More of them called all the time. Titans nearby could be called in, but I think the restorers want the kill for themselves. But the thing with grouping everything together is shields can cover things a lot easier because they're overlapping shield coverage. SMD covers a lot more. They're able to pool resources in one tight spot, which is good. The downside is that if, let's say, that SMD goes down, that's it. Game over. Everything's gone. You need you have to have a backup, but also pull your resources in a tight spot. So you gotta it's hard. You gotta weigh your options a lot. It's very not necessarily all on the fly decisions, but usually it just comes with the experience. And the higher rate players obviously have tons and tons of experience. So not really they're not really worried about having to constantly think about all of those decisions, but they still have to think about it. It's more second nature to them. But the Titans from the west have come and just avoided this huge group of Team 1 units, cut all the way across the bottom, and are now getting into the main base here for Morrow. There's some defenses from the last time they came up, but they're going to take out the chicken that's being built. I mean, yeah, you take out some mass that was being thrown into a chicken, but that was not a good idea. The Team 1 PD wreck those Titans. Ow, that's got to hurt. I hear chicken fire once again to the east. The chicken pushes forward once again. These units sitting on Team 2's doorstep, not really doing a whole lot. I know you want a buffer zone so these PD and AA don't get attacked, but you're allowing these units to just die off with no real purpose. The push to the east is incoming. The chicken leading the ground assault, essentially. Really funny watching a Seraphim unit lead UEF. Usually you would think the UEF are opposed to doing that, but the chicken is the leader here. I am the tallest, fast. How fast can you shoot? Well, I can shoot faster. Anything you can do, I can do better. Gunships are called in. Does Team 2 have some AA? No, they don't, but they do have ASF, which is almost as good as AA. But ASF will call in. ACU says Morrow. Yeah, it's out in the open. That's not a good spot for that comm. But the chicken does go down. Not really looking good here for Team 1. For Team 2. They're getting a lot of pushing, but now the restorers are coming in. There's no AA here. All these Titans are going to die. Restorers and gunships. These broadswords are just going to annihilate everything here. Reclaim efforts to the east here from Team 1, getting the chicken and all the rest of that mass from the Fat Boy. There's no air presence here, essentially, here for Team 2. And now a lot of that defense that was here on the west is just gone because a lot of it was just T1 units. But now we have artillery raining down here from Team 1, this Duke here in the back. The second one almost halfway done as well. And even a Novaks in there as well. That's just not really looking good here for Team 2. Yeah, nice little shot of the artillery. I love watching the artillery work. It's fun to watch the cannon just recycle itself. It's great. Especially the Novaks is not the Novaks, the Maver's the best. The main air grid here for Team 2 is down. The secondary one will be the next target. Shields are going to be trying to place all around. But is it too little too late? The nuke has finished. The silo is loading it. Sorry, the nuke silo is finished. The silo is loading as we speak. It's halfway done. Does Team 1 know about it? They know something's here. So it's a little early. I mean, they could have built a YOLO or something like that, but not on that amount of mass. They need a lot more. Team 1 actually in the lead of mass by a 3-2 advantage. But yeah, it's starting to favor Team 1 a little bit here. Restorers are called in, gunships assisting them. The broadswords, they're going on an assassination mission maybe. I don't know where they're going. Where are they going? They're going down here. It looks like maybe they'll go after the column of Morrow. No, they're going after the P-Gens. The AA trying to hold them off as best they can. Another P-Gen will go down. This will be the last air grid that Team 2 has. They don't have any backups to backups, so they're actually, the restorers are the distraction. The broadswords are coming in after the comm. They're going to skirt that little edge here. The shields are down. The shields are down. They're not staying online. Doesn't have enough eco. Mara, what are you doing? You need the... Okay, the shields. He has more energy. That's good. But they're not... Target this. It's open. Target it. It's open. What are you doing? Don't assassinate the mass. I mean, yeah, that's a good move, but go after this. It's right here. The nuke is almost loaded. No! What are you doing? That's a missed opportunity here for Team 1. Then what are you doing? Okay, now they're called in. Okay, I was like, what are you doing? Take out the shield emitters. There you go. Target the missile launcher. The comm is almost dead. Son of Ibis has been defeated by Agony by strat bombers. And now the gunship will come in and deal with the rest of the comm's health here for Morrow. And it's almost a double kill. Fairly close to it. And kaboom. Man, I was gonna say, I was like, you're not, the shields are down, the gunships are right there. I was like, what are you doing? But Strat Bomber Rush over here to the east takes out the comm of Son of Ibis. And then the comm of Morrow goes down. It is a victory here for Team 1. Not a flawless one because they lost their player of Jumbo, 13 minutes in. But again, a win is still a win regardless if you're dead or not. But again, thank you so much to Zima2352 for sending me the replay. And again, please go ahead and hop on the post to submit your, if you haven't done it already, submit your vote for what you want the celebration cast to be. You have until sometime tomorrow. I haven't figured out the exact time, but probably around 2 or 3 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, somewhere around there. But thank you so much for watching. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Again, thank you for helping me reach 500 subscribers. And again, thank you for watching to the end of the video. Please like and comment down below. And of course, if you haven't already done so, I would encourage you to please hit that red subscribe button. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And I'm grateful for everyone who have and encourage those who have not. But again, thank you so much to all you wonderful and beautiful people. And I will see all of you, hopefully, in the next one.